steps up. Huntley sacks T.J. Watt. NFL history. Watt has tied Michael Strahan's single-season record. Oh, no.
In the air to right. This is deep. And he did it again. Jack Sawinski wins it for the Pirates. 3 home runs in a game.
I'm nervous. Hello to all of our Pittsburgh Sportsline fans and friends. We're live in the BPTV studio, right in the municipal building here in Bethel Park. This is our 12th year. October 11th's coming up. That'll be our 12th year anniversary. And I'm proud and honored that you guys are watching us and checking us out each week. And we just appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching us on Comcast 21, only in Bethel Park. Yes, that's only in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on, thank you, Nick. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park. We got Michael adjusting me. Here, wait. My son said my hair was flying out a little bit. And Chip bought me an E equals MC squared. Smoking Jim didn't know Einstein come up with this. And Chip likes to call me Einstein. Now, I'm not picking on Smoking Jim. He says these things. Just check the video. And so I did make sure my hair is not flying away like Einstein. But it's quite the compliment. How many of you out there do they call you Einstein?
Good point.
So I accept that. Enough about me. Thank you for watching us on Facebook. Proudly, about a month ago, we hit over 7,000 likes. And Facebook, with the wisdom and the algorithms they have, they still haven't said we have 7K followers. They keep showing 6.9K. So I don't know why Facebook messes with people, but Smoking Jim can put all his sweeties out there. And my 7,014 likers, they don't post it all up. So who knows what goes on. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. We got a substitute guest, Mike Rohde. He's here. His son Marco's in the control room. And Mike, before he went on, he goes, "Hey, Marco, make sure I look good." So he's adjusting the control room. We got Smoking Jim Frazier. Now, he's truly not a Pirate fan because he's betting in the casino that they have 100 losses this year. And he's all geared up. You can like it, but his size 27 shoes, they were white and outstanding. And we got Nick VIP Callis here tonight. And we got Corey in the control room and Marco helping, like I said. And I got to do a little promo. First, I'm going to test Johnny. I got my longest day promotional shirt from Alzheimer's. It's in great purple. I'll look like a Raven fan, but this is a heartfelt thing. My mother died of Alzheimer's August 17th, 1988 at 55 years old. The 19th would be my dad's 92nd birthday in heaven, so it's a very emotional day to me. Please donate $1 or whatever you can afford. That's all I'm looking for. Smoking Jim kicked off my dollar campaign 2 weeks ago. I got to post it so I'll have an odd number there. And you can go to the links and I'll flip around to the back. Johnny, just check the back of the shirt. Look at how nice this is. It only took a little donation from me and to have the Talking Machine Telethon page. You can go to that page and I'll show you the flyer. Johnny, we're not done with you. Here we go. All right, I'll see if I can remember this. August 19th, 4 to 7 p.m. I figured you could all go around on a nice sunny day. 4 o'clock if you need to eat. Olive Oil's Pizzeria is sponsoring the show. You can call them 412-831-1900. They're less than 5 minutes away from the studio. We have a parking spot where young Frankie can bring whatever we order there. And I have to tell you, anybody that likes hot wings, I'm going to just do this. I'm changing it to a $20 donation. If you want to try to eat 1 to 5 of their wings, they're so hot that he guaranteed me that nobody will do it. So you can take the challenge, give me $5. If somebody can eat 5, I'll donate $20 back to you, and then you're going to have to buy your own 2 gallons of milk to calm you down. But all their menus available, and they're going to donate 20% of what they get to the Alzheimer's Association to help me out with trying to get money there. It's to help people like my mother who were sick and ill, people that have symptoms. They can help them. They can talk to you about government programs and money that's available to help your families through this. There's even some medication that can slow down some of the Alzheimer's stages that you go through. My mother went through stages in like 5 years, and she was dead at 55 back in 1988. So check it out, and make sure you check it. There's a QR code. I don't know if Johnny can pull in on the QR code. It's down at the bottom there. And that picture's with me and my mother. I'm 16 years old, and she was 39 then. Can we get that in there? Lower? It's right at the bottom of the page. Bottom of the page. That's a nice shot of me. Excellent. QR code. How about straight where Michael's at? Can I hold that up to Michael? Just no.
We had it. Okay.
Here it is there.
Back. There we go.
Michael, just keep it right at where it's at. Don't move anything. I just held it straight up. Now, he can come in close, bottom of the page. Where do I do?
Go up
Up?
a little bit.
You were telling me too high. Up?
Keep going up.
Up?
There you go.
Hit that QR code. You go right to the Talking Machine page. Sorry for the delays on this stuff here, but this is very fluid. And Michael, how old are you?
13.
He's 13
Yes!
years old, running the camera.
Love that.
That's Brandy and Johnny's son. All right, we got that done. Now, next up, Nick, can Corey put up the Albert Trip menu?
If he hits auto and then hits the stop button, yes, he can.
All right, a lot of pressure here. There's too much pressure here.
Too much pressure.
Well, I'll say, there it is. There's the great thing. Their event was over. They did $5,700 a few weeks ago. I'm proud and honored. We're trying to help Albert Trip Menu and his wife Jamie get money. They need it. He can't work anymore. He was a great welder. He's 55 years old. He needs new lungs. So I don't know what happened to the flyer there, but we needed that up so I can talk about it intelligently. Okay, Nick's coming to the rescue, so Corey, thank you. How's my hair look? We're good. Hey, well, Drew's watching the show, and, you know, I brought him up to be a little honest, so he would tell me the truth. So we'll check that out. But give them a call. They'll give you the phone numbers up there. Nick or somebody can tell them the phone numbers. I don't have it memorized. But thanks for the Menu family reaching out. Thanks for Sherry and Lynn, the brother and the sister and brother-in-law, for their help. And we're trying to raise money for them. And can you, Nick, get the phone numbers? The light's in my eye bothering me on that.
724
Yeah, just say 724
225
225.
9100.
That is Washington Federal Bank in Washington, PA.
Jamie's number is 724
Jamie's number, his wife, is 724
554
554
9228.
9228. Give them a call. You can donate your money to the bank. Just mention Albert Trip Menu needs new lungs, and his wife Jamie will take all calls. You can donate as little as $1 or whatever you can afford. They really need the money, because imagine if somebody told you you're going to die. That's how drastic it is. All right, we're going to do our promos right now. So Corey, take it away with the promos. Pittsburgh Sportsline supports the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette Strikers. I worked there for 36 years. My former union, CWA PPMWS 14842, Pittsburgh Local Mailers Union number 22, is on strike. Even though health care benefits were secured for workers by the union, Post-Gazette management cut them out without the union's approval and still expected workers to show up without any coverage. Please cancel your Post-Gazette subscriptions online or in print. Pittsburgh Sportsline supports the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette Union Strikers. Frank Fanera, owner of Olive Oil's Pizzeria and the Hillcrest Shopping Center on Route 88. Call them at 412-831-1900. Every Tuesday night, Olive Oil's Pizzeria provides the host and the amazing volunteer crew with an XL pepperoni pizza and a full steak hoagie. They are delicious. Olive Oils is proud to support Pittsburgh Sportsline and the volunteers at BPTV. Stay Joey strong. Joey Fabus died at 8 years old of brain cancer known as DIPG. Since then, the family has come together with community members to create the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit. Since being founded, they've raised over $100,000. Go to jfccf.org to learn more about DIPG, to help spread awareness, and to see how else you can support and donate towards the fight against this dreaded brain cancer. Always Be Smiling, a 501c3 designed to help children and families in need of kidney transplants. The B stands for Bennett, whose memory is embedded in this organization by his parents, Kristen and Dean. Despite the challenges he faced in his 16 and a half years of life, Bennett always had a smile on his face and spread kindness to everyone he could. Now, Always Be Smiling wants to pass on that kindness. Go to alwaysbesmiling.org to learn more and see how you can support or donate to this organization. The Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you. I'm Al Levine, trustee on the board of this great organization. The BPCF focuses on raising money to provide scholarships, grants, endowments, and more. Grant requests are available online from $100 to $5,000. You can also attend fundraisers or donate. Go to bpcf.org to get more information and to stay up to date on upcoming events. The Bethel Park Community Foundation, focusing community resources, building for the future. The Bethel Park Historical Society is a 501c3 that serves Bethel Park. The Historical Society operates out of the Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, located at 2600 South Park Road. Look for the red and white trolley right out front. Reginald's Coffee is inside, and I've heard it's the best coffee around. To visit this great historical venue, email historicalsocietybp@gmail.com.
Join the Bethel Park Police Department in support of Kicks for Kids. Its mission is to provide grade school students with a fresh pair of shoes to start off the school year on the right foot. Donations of new youth and adult-sized tennis shoes will be graciously accepted. You can also make a tax-deductible financial donation, 100% of which will go toward the purchase of tennis shoes for students. You can support by calling 412-835-7220, by texting K for K to 44321, or by mailing orders to Life Builders at 2624 Brandis Avenue in South Park. There's also a bin in the lobby of the Bethel Park Police Station for you to make a drop-off. Kicks for Kids. Let's build together and make a difference in the life of a student. And now this message from BPTV.
Alas, poor talking machine. I knew him well. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy,
Dave, I'm not dead. I'm still doing Pittsburgh Sportsline every Tuesday night and many other weekly shows on BPTV.
That's great, Al, but then who's this?
I don't know, but we must leave right now. Let's go. Help save Pittsburgh police officer Jeffrey Crawford. Jeffrey is in need of a kidney donation. He's in stage 5 renal failure and he's on dialysis 3 times a week. He needs this kidney ASAP. To contact the UPMC donor registry, call 412-647-4438 or go to livingdonorreg.upmc.com. And to help spread awareness, use the hashtag #BlessJeff on socials. Let's come together to support Pittsburgh policeman Jeffrey Crawford in his time of need. Alex Reed is in need of a kidney. 2 weeks after college graduation, Alex's kidneys failed. A gracious donor gave Alex 7 years of life, but now he needs another kidney. To learn more about becoming a donor for Alex, call 830-285-2140 or go to kidneysolutions.org. Zhang Taekwondo just opened a new location in the South Hills, along with its location in Wexford and its inclusion in the curriculum of Provident Charter School in Troy Hill. Zhang uses Taekwondo to teach its students confidence and self-discipline through physical fitness. Zhang is offering a 4-week special. You get a uniform and lessons for $30. If you mention the Talking Machine, Smokin' Jim, or VIP Nick, they'll give you a further discount. For more information, go to zhangtkd.com or call 724-934-9264. Are you sure?
Oh, you're on
All right. Hey, I needed help because there's a little delay here, and I'm getting so old that I forgot that delay's in there. Thanks to Chief and Ralph for watching. Hello, guys. Ralph said hello. Scoops, hi, Alan Levine, the Talking Machine Show. Okay, I appreciate that. That's my other page. So this is Alan Levine, the Talking Machine on Pittsburgh Sportsline. Scoops, just correct you there. Thanks for the prayers. And she said, thank you, Machine, for all your help. Scoops, thank you for your help, and I'm honored and proud to be helping you. Please donate to Albert Tripp Menu right now. Please. You got those phone numbers. Sherry just agreed, Pittsburgh Sportsline. Thank you for the clarification. All right, we do What's on Your Mind? Smokin' Jim Frazier.
That's Al Levine, the Talking Machine, and if you want the green,
Coming at you.
You got the C. Levine. Hey, I tell you what, man. I should be on that side. That's the black side. You guys are in black hats, black background.
Hold it. We got to do a disclaimer.
Woo, let's move on. Excuse me, Mike.
Can you take off your illegal hoodie? He got the email. He has 150,000 emails that he hasn't checked. Mike got the email. Smokin' Jim got the email, but he never looked.
Hey.
And Nick, he runs on his own here.
Hey, I know my man. Saturday might be my last day on earth because my family members cheer for Homewood and they're cheering against Garfield. And I'll be here all day Saturday, so I can't make your event, but I know my man Ralph Williams said he'll match my donation, so here's $10 to donate to the event along with the other.
Hold it. Let me count this. 1, 2, 3. Are you putting this on camera? 4, 5. I can't thank him yet. 6. Uh-oh, might be short one. 7.
I didn't put my Woodrow
8.
Wilson in there, did I?
He's not on there. 9.
He's a $1,000 bill.
10.
That's
I never
Woodrow
saw
Wilson.
one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Smokin' Jim. He's now up to Pittsburgh Sportsline First, $11 for Alzheimer's Association. I thank you.
That's a tax write-off. But what's on my mind?
Hold it. Disclaimer, he hasn't filed taxes under his government name, and we don't know how long.
Steve Fisher's helping me.
No, Steve Fisher told me if you ever mention his name, you're not going to be friends anymore, because he said I can't do his taxes because he has no forms.
But what's on my mind, Al Levine, the talking machine?
Yes, what is?
Listen, I'm getting ready. I would be willing to put my good friend, Coach Tom, general manager, the former general manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who Bill Cowher fired, Tom Donahoe used to say, get them good or get them gone. I'm willing to put this guy on waivers right now, and I'll take a 5th or 6th round pick. It's time. It's over with Joey Porter. I'm tired of looking at him. He got a floppy hat on the sideline. Al Levine, the talking machine, first of all, is a brittle brother. How you hurt? Your ankle? Your ankle don't feel good? Okay, if it don't feel good, you don't make the trip. You stay home and rehab. He's talking to everybody. He knows everybody. He's been around the facilities forever. Everybody's saying he's getting better because Pickens is using him like a wash rag. How did that work out for Artie Burns when he got burned every day by Antonio Brown? Listen, I'm telling you, this guy's a safety. He's not a corner. If I was the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, I put the guy on waivers or I would trade him for a warm 6-pack. And that's what's on my mind. I love the kid. Penn State right now is returning the best secondary in all of college football. They ain't missing him. And that's what's on my mind. Time to get rid of Porter.
Hey, one of our friends and followers, Pete Kasich, wants to know what you're drinking. Can you show the ginger ale? Show the ginger ale, because show him who's it made by.
Seagram's 7.
He doesn't know what alcohol is, only ginger ale. All right, Chief said, great job, machine. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, Peggy and Nick are in Rochester.
Nick's here.
No. They got grandparents.
They're Marco's grandparents, but Mike Rohde, those are his parents. That was so disrespectful.
I said Nick. I thought you said Nick.
Every week. Every week.
I thought you was only Nick.
I said Rochester.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
That's Rochester, New
I
York.
was taking a sip.
I know. You can't hear or do two things at one time. Oh, he's not listening. He's pulling out another piece of hoagie. All right. Let's see. Paul Haley's watching. Chief, I don't know. We'll check the veracity of those bills. He said they might be counterfeit. And Ann Harder, thank you for being Michael's grandmother. Thank you for being Brandy's mother. I've seen you march in a parade before, so thank you for watching our show. And she said, looking good, Mike Rohde. And his parents already said it's a fantastic show because of Mike Rohde.
I haven't even said anything yet.
Look at the forearms on that guy. Look at that. I love it.
Just don't check his hip out, all right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Smoking Jim. And just keep eating right there. You're doing fine. You made a great donation for a great cause. It's honoring my mother, so thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate you. Take another sip of ginger ale after you're done chewing. No. I don't want you choking. Nick Callis, what's on your mind?
Well, the Pirates are struggling, and their pitchers can't throw with high velocity right now, it seems, and there have been several pitchers that have been a high disappointment. Roansy Contreras is certainly one of those, as is Roansy Contreras, who has been gone for a while now, so I'm back to sadness. But I also have the optimism for next year, so we'll wait and see if they can develop properly. Maybe they're just pulling a fast one on us, right? They're deceiving us intentionally, and that maybe they're going to come back throwing hard, and the Pirates are going to be World Series champions next year. Who knows?
You're in the media, and I listen to a lot of media. I won't mention where, and I'm not critical of anybody. But, I follow the Pirates, and I've seen the facade they put up and the smoke and mirrors they use.
Sure.
And I'm hearing a lot of media people in Pittsburgh. Now, they drink, I heard, the grape Kool-Aid of the Pirates, and they're saying next year they'll be much better.
Did you call it grape or great?
Grape.
I love grape.
Me too.
So I'm drinking it.
Me too.
There
Grape
you go.
Kool-Aid. I drink it too, but guess what? I see the truth. That quarter is burning a hole in my hand.
Yeah, I'm most likely going to have
And
to.
I'm not putting him
pull out a
down.
quarter.
He's a young man full of ambition, and he hasn't lived through what I've lived through. I've lived through since 1979 disappointment with the Pirates, and I'm still a fan.
You know what?
But I'm disgruntled.
What you're saying actually brings up a good point.
I was hoping it would.
I got a caller at the Fan when I was doing the early morning show, and the guy asked me, he said, how can you still sit here and talk about all these things that we're just going to inevitably talk about next year? My response to that is, I haven't seen the Pirates win a World Series, and I'm young, and so I really don't have a choice but to be optimistic year to year, because all the people that expect Pittsburgh sports teams to win, they've lived through that. I have high expectations of the Steelers, and I get frustrated because I've seen them at their best, winning a Super Bowl.
Great points.
I've seen the Penguins back-to-back Stanley Cup winners. They're the most recent champion I've experienced in my life. I have high expectations of them because I've seen the players that have brought them to a championship. I haven't seen the Pirates and the players that played when they were champions of Major League Baseball. So that's my response. I don't have a choice with baseball but to be optimistic year to year because I haven't experienced the glory that is a World Series championship in Pittsburgh. So I'll say that to Al and everybody here as I continue to dissect what the Pirates are doing. I haven't yet been a part or alive for a World Series championship for the Pirates.
You can join me with the
Well,
Orioles.
those are great points, and Smoking Jim's not a baseball fan, but that's okay.
My Orioles is doing good.
Nick is only 24, soon to be 25 in December. So, of course, you can say it, but you saw 16 years of the Penguins being in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Right.
Now, how did you feel when this year ended?
Very sad.
That's how I feel for 40 years.
Well,
You proved my point. Thank you very much. I rest my case.
How was the 71 and 79 championships, though? Were those fun?
No.
They weren't fun?
They were beyond fun because I was working downtown Pittsburgh.
My point exactly.
Well, that's why I'm a disgruntled Pirate fan. You talk about the same things each year, and I hate to disagree because I'm actually an optimist. But when I keep drinking the Kool-Aid and I'm thirsty, means I didn't get any satisfaction. And go listen to the Rolling Stones' Satisfaction.
Very good. Steelers, real quick. We got to be able to be happy about something as well. Everybody's just saying, "Oh, it's just a preseason game. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with the Steelers?"
Wait till you hear what I say. What's on my mind?
Just enjoy their success. It's a preseason game. I get that, but there's a lot of good signs from the team, and that's what I'll say. Don't think too much of it, but also don't take it as nothing. And Ben Roethlisberger opened his mouth again before the preseason game, talking about how it's really funny that they drafted Kendrick Green to be his center, and then he didn't dress the season after Ben was there. The franchise doesn't run around Ben Roethlisberger, and they tried something. They thought they had their guy, and they didn't. And Ben can't control that now. He's retired. So why he's still talking about things like that's beyond me. I think it's silly. That's what's on my mind.
Big Ben was never a nice guy and popular guy, even an MVP in the league or anything else, because of one thing: his personality.
Indeed. Very much a me guy.
And you found out at 24 years old what we've known since he's been here. So that's why welcome aboard. We'll wait for that. And Ann Harder says, City of Champions, Nick. We've seen it, Ann. He's saying he has it. And look at how disappointed he was after what the Penguins did this past year.
Pitt in 76. Too.
Well, I remember seeing Danny Marino throw a ball, so we won't go there. Elaine Volpe's watching. Thanks for watching. Nick's here because of you, Elaine. Just wanted to share. Paul Haley always has some good comments down in Myrtle Beach. Pirates are playing as well as the Yankees for over $100 million plus less. Very true. All right, we got to go up to the guy who's filling in and already got compliments by family.
Yeah.
Mike Rohde, let me take a deep breath. I can't wait to hear what's on your mind.
Oh, boy.
Come on, a lot of pressure. I know you can handle it.
Let me just say this. Like the rest of Pittsburgh, I'm glad that it's Steelers season and football season in general. But I'll tell you why, especially for me, because after the draft is over and the mini camps, you got dead time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody comes up because they're so desperate to write something about the NFL. They
Yeah,
come up
talk
with their
about it.
lists,
Yeah.
come up with all this crazy nonsense. And during that time, without fail, every year, Mike Tomlin, should he be hired? Should he be fired? Here's why he hasn't won a playoff game. Standard is a standard. Why don't we win the Super Bowl every year?
You're hitting all the cliches.
Okay,
Carry on.
exactly. Let me tell you why Mike Tomlin is, I think, like the national media recognizes him, one of the better coaches in the NFL. The man is a leader, all right? He's not an X's and O's guy. What a head coach is there to do is to cultivate a winning culture. What this guy did last year, okay, let's go back even.
2-6.
When he was 2-6.
I know you're going there.
2-6, brought in a rookie quarterback. Everybody says, why can't Kenny Pickett? Why can't they do this? He was a rookie quarterback. He said, take the snap, throw it there, Kenny. Take the snap, throw it there. He guided them towards a winning season with a rookie quarterback. He did not sacrifice the winning culture. He's not there to do X's and O's. He's not there to call where the linebackers go, where the receivers go. That's the position coaches. He's there to cultivate a winning culture. And he got them through a rookie quarterback season and a whole bunch of other turnover. Did not sacrifice that winning culture. And there's no one better in the NFL than Mike Tomlin is at. Bill Belichick couldn't do it. He's turned around after Tom Brady. Brady went and won a Super Bowl. Okay? So
Great
Belichick
analogy.
hasn't really done much since Brady left.
Harbaugh's just as good.
Well, look, I mean, there's
he's
others
talking
there's
Tomlin.
others who have been leaders. There's no doubt about it. But in my mind, you have to look for a guy who's going to maintain the culture of your team. That's what the head coach is there to do. They coach the coaches. They don't walk around saying how to get into your 3-point stance. That's for the coach. They're there to cultivate that winning culture. Now, I'll be the first to admit, on a Sunday here and there, why is Mike Tomlin still the coach? We've all done it, right? We've all done it. I'll be the first to admit. Sometimes I wonder why the Steeler coaching position has the same longevity as some popes. Okay?
Whoa, you're going biblical on us. I like that.
I've been there to question that as well. But at the end of the day, be careful what you wish for.
We got 2,000 plus years of religion
Exactly.
coming on Pittsburgh Sports Line.
Be-
He went biblical with Mike.
Just be careful what you
Full
wish for.
16 years of a winning record.
Absolutely. Winning record. And again, everybody says, well, is the standard just not a losing season? That's a pretty good standard. That's a pretty good standard to not ever have a losing team. They went through the Duck Hodges year, right?
No, the best quarterback we ever had, he said. He was
And they
wrong. He was wrong.
Is he infallible? Of course not. He's made calls here and there, everybody's questioned everybody, but every coach goes through that. But what that guy has done, and I would just say this, I'll end with this, be careful what you wish for. Because if he's out the door tomorrow and they bring in anybody, you're rolling the dice. There's a lot of X's and I's. There's a lot of X's and O's guys who get promoted to head coaches. The guy in Denver last year, great example.
Nathaniel Hackett.
Great X and O's guy. Had no business being a head coach, and that was proven, right? There's
What
a lot
if
of guys.
Sean Payton broke the coach's creed. He criticized them.
Yeah.
You heard Aaron Rodgers, crybaby Rodgers, come out and defended his offensive coordinator, which he's good at. So great points, Mike.
There's a lot of great CFOs who don't make good
The only thing I'll
CEOs.
tell you is the rubber hits the road. We've been missing that with the potholes we have. So I understand it. And like I tell other people, he was the coach when they were 2-6. But what did he do? He overcame it and kept his record intact, right or wrong. How many cities like Cleveland would appreciate the streak we have?
Absolutely.
So I'm with you 100%. Great points. I'm glad we brought you in from the cold. I just want to share this, family. He didn't know what he was going to talk about, so I said, I got one question. Do you watch sports? He goes, a little bit. I go, that's enough. You're sitting in. Good job.
All right, thank you.
Oh, man, I'm forgetting what's on my mind. Well, let me have this. Steeler Kool-Aid. I watched more of a preseason game. I guess it's unusual. I've never been this old before, so I'm seeing these games a little longer because I'm curious, how can this Joey Porter want to sit on the sidelines and make his money, he's already a millionaire. You know he didn't need the contract. Look, he held out a little bit for the contract. So we know he's unusual. He had a great legendary dad. We'll let that go. Now, I was skeptical about Kenny Pickett for a couple reasons. It took about 10 years to become a great quarterback and beat Danny Marino's records. I'm embellishing a little. And he won all these things, but it took him a long period of time. So it showed me that he could improve, even though he was one of the oldest rookie quarterbacks. So I said, I don't expect much from him this year. I expected Trubisky to at least be able to manage a football game, and I was wrong. I was wrong about that. Then I questioned Canada's offense, and then I thought for a minute, what if I know what talented football players look like? And then I saw their offensive line. They were terrible at the beginning of the year, and guess what? God must have smiled on the Tomlin offensive line, or maybe his prayers were answered by God. You got biblical, I'm going to go with it. Because how do you have 5 linemen, Mike, play the whole season every game? Just that there, you went biblical on me. I'm going biblical too. So I'm sitting with Drew. Drew's watching. We watch the games. He goes, "You going to watch preseason?" I go, "If I make it a half, I'll be lucky." So I watched the first series. Kenny Pickett's in there. Now, the Steelers listened to our shows all last year. More offensive linemen, made a number 1 pick as an offensive left tackle? How's that happen? Then we don't start him, so I understand we're scared. And Tomlin's trying to still be nice to everybody, so everybody's happy. I understand a little schmoozing. I do that in life. So, hey, kid, you know, you're built like a wall here, 6'8", whatever. You won 2 championships, but, hey, sit on the bench, and then you play against second, third, and fourth stringers the rest of the game for more plays than anybody. So they know they got talent. Kenny Pickett goes out, and somebody named Pickens never gets any yak, yards after catch. So they're moving the field. Kenny's 6 out of 7. One pass goes over the middle of the field, and I go, is that really George Pickens? He catches the ball for a 33-yard touchdown pass, more yak yards than he had in a season on one play. We got an out of the red zone touchdown by the rookie in his sophomore year. So not only we get a miracle offensive line that was there, they were able to block people. He was able to see people, Mike, in the middle of the field and to the left. You know, last year with Open Door Moore, he couldn't look left because he had a guy on him. So now I'm watching this, and I'm like, I'm interested in the game. So Tomlin, because the players love him, because, look, Kenny got to look like a superstar. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Wait, Steeler Kool-Aid? Another dose. That was great. Kenny Pickett's taking us to the Super Bowl now. I believe all the hype for a year. I'm pumped up. How can they miss the Super Bowl this year? 6 out of 7 on one series, and he doesn't come back for a second series. So I go, Tomlin's so deep into psychology, Smoking Jim thinks he's friends with them, and he talks bad about them. They're not friends. So he's playing psychological warfare with his own players. One series, attaboy, Open Door Moore, you're out, the rest of you are out. We'll start putting these other players in. I watched the game, and we scored, I can't even pronounce this, 27 points.
Wow.
What did we average last season? I think it was under 17 points or 14 points. I don't even know the stats because I couldn't mention 27 points. So we look like a Super Bowl team for the first preseason game. I watched through the fourth quarter, and I go, Drew, something's wrong with me. What am I doing watching this? So I feel great. I'm drinking that Kool-Aid because I'm going to be like Nick this year, expecting the best, and I don't even know what the worst you're talking about because we're going to watch more football. Go Steelers. Fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac, 10 seconds.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. I tell you what, before the show, I got here early. I meant to talk to my main man Marco to get some stats on the Baltimore Orioles, my team. Everywhere I go.
Here's the thing. He texts me and get his phone number, and you can text him. So then you don't have to worry when you're with a sweetie. You could just text Marco. What do you think of those Orioles?
Everywhere I go.
Just trying to help Marco out.
Everywhere I go, everybody says, hey, man, your Orioles is doing good. I didn't know there were so many Adam Frazier fans. But, hey, Al
No, they're
Levine,
your fans.
Al Levine, the talking machine, I tell you what.
What?
I don't, Steelers scored 27 points thanks to Mason Rudolph. I don't expect much from the 28th rated quarterback in the league. He reminds me of Jim McMahon, but they won a Super Bowl. Jim McMahon won a Super Bowl, but it took the 85 Bear defense and Walter Payton. But I don't know if Kenny Pickett, and we'll see if he does, if he has the arm strength to get the ball out there to Calvin
Austin.
But what I wanted to talk about.
What was that, a
Levine,
66-yard touchdown
man,
pass?
Mason Rudolph put it out there. But, hey, Al Levine, the talking machine.
Yes.
What I wanted to talk about, the best left tackle in Steeler history, in my opinion, was Cowboy John Kolb. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Strongest man in the NFL.
But because he's a white,
Was he right?
left tackle.
Was he
ain't
right?
gonna make it. Yeah, he was right. The second best they ever had, and it took him 2 years to get good, was John Jackson. And I
remember
tell
him.
you, I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you right now, nobody can see it but me, and I seen it last year. Dan Moore Jr. is right there with John Jackson. This guy is so good. The things he's doing is unbelievable. And I tell you what, Broderick Jones is so raw. I mean, if they put this guy in there, he's going to get people killed. Number one, he gave up 3 sacks on Friday and only got credited with giving up 1. Everybody says he never gave up a sack before. No, I went back and watched every game he ever played in. He gave up 3 sacks in 2021. He didn't give up none last year.
Well, that's
being
a good
protected
point.
by the 2 tight end offense. But Al Levine, the talking machine, all I can say is this. Dan Moore, if he goes to the Hall of Fame, it won't be with the Pittsburgh Steelers because he's gone for a big-time contract next year. He's going to make the Pro Bowl this year if he stays healthy. I tell you what, this guy, we're losing a John Jackson, the second best left tackle in Pittsburgh Steelers history. And that's what's on my mind.
I got
Or
a
fiction
little.
and fact.
I got a little counterpoint.
I got a
with
little
him.
fiction and a little fact there.
That was the fiction. I got the counterpoint. Kendrick Green. We all remember he was a guard in college, and he played center
was a
for a
bum.
few games.
He
Wait,
was a bum at Illinois.
what did I
Lovie
tell?
Smith got Lovie Smith fired.
Hold it, but what did I tell you about him? Because I watch line play. You only watch the back end of the line because you're a running back. So I watched their hands and their footwork. And Kendrick Green, I said, is getting pushed back, and he had a slow snap.
You did.
They read him. What did they do? And I said he wouldn't make it. They sat him out last year. Now, because of Tomlin, he likes his players to be happy. He said, we're going to run you 300-pounder like the fridge in Chicago, even though you're only 300 pounds. We're going to run you as a fullback. So what'd they do in the preseason? Sit down, Sonny. That was just to keep you happy. Now, Open Door Moore, I watched his footwork, his blocking. Did he improve a little bit? Yes.
Just like John Jackson.
No.
The first 2 years,
No,
John Jackson was
he's not close. I'll give him another 2 years if he makes it, that maybe he could play right tackle.
That's what
He'll
I was
never do
thinking.
it. He'll never do it. I already said. My inside information says he'll never play right tackle. But go ahead.
No, that's my point.
You know who was another bad tackle to start out was Tunch Elkin. He was awful at first.
Yeah.
I wanted to cut him.
And he was white, too.
But here's the thing. You guys talk about Tomlin, and Tomlin, in my opinion, is not as good as coach as Harbaugh in Baltimore. But Al Levine, the talking machine, he don't want to admit when he makes a mistake. Kendrick Green should have been long gone out of here, just like Artie Burns spent 5 years here, couldn't cover nobody. Jarvis Jones spent 5 years because Mike Tomlin don't want to admit when he makes a mistake.
Well, why do you think he still has a special teams coach that we said he should have been gone 5 years
And
ago?
they got the bum Bird back there. Out of all these guys that can return punch, you got a bum back there wearing number 16. Come on, April. That's that Central Catholic in him.
I understand. Well, thank you,
You
Smoke.
can understand, huh?
I do understand. I watch the games. I don't have rose-colored
My man,
glasses.
Mikey.
All right, Teresa Mariano, good show, Al. Thank you. Great job, Mike. I agree with you, Mike. She's on your side. Paul Haley, years ago, Bum Phillips, Houston Oilers said, I remember it well, the road to the Super Bowl goes through Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
We are used to winning. That's our point to all of it, Paul. You're right on the page we're on. Ann Harder, good camera work, Michael.
Yeah.
Mikey.
Uh-oh. Your wife is watching. Diane, Rhodey is watching. Sorry you couldn't bring Marco in tonight. Mike brought him in, and I put him on the show. You're next. We'll bring you up next. That's the updates on that. Smoking Jim, I appreciate your scouting opinions.
They agree with me out there?
No, let me just tell you, somebody, I'm making this up right now. They said, when you said Baker Mayfield would be a Super Bowl quarterback, and you said Cleveland looked like a Super Bowl team on paper.
I was wrong.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, so you have been wrong.
Although Baker was 7-7. It was scored with 7-7 when Baker was in there against the Steelers.
In
Friday night.
preseason, guess what that means? Drink another sip of ginger ale. All right, let's go to VIP time with Nick Callis.
All right, an opinion. Austin Hedges spoke out recently, and I thought that this was fascinating. He was on the Chris Rose rotation, and he was talking about what it felt like to get booed by Pittsburgh fans every time he got up to the plate and every time his walk-up song came on. Told a heartfelt story about, oh, my mother grew up here, and I had a bunch of family here.
He was raised here.
Yeah, was he raised in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
I don't remember him saying that, but he very well would have. Okay, so he got raised in Pittsburgh. Mother was, from here, and all these heartfelt stories. But then, you hear that, and you might feel bad for maybe a second. Or maybe you see through the great story. He's a nice man. But why did Pittsburgh fans boo him when he came to the plate? Because this season, I believe he was batting 168 when he got traded. That means he's got about a 15% chance of getting a base hit, and especially when he's coming up late in pivotal games. Yeah, you're going to boo the guy for coming to the plate. Of course, Pittsburgh fans are going to boo. It doesn't matter. Any of that other stuff does not matter if you're up to the plate. He did mention, too, in his defense, he said, I knew I was hitting, I didn't hit the way I wanted to this year. I was disappointed in that. Well, that's been a consistent point of your career to bat under 200. Not good. What were the
That's the Mendoza line.
and that's what
Mario Mendoza started that here.
And I've heard interviews with Ben Cherington and Derek Shelton talking about, well, obviously he doesn't want to hit this poorly. Why sign him? I get it. The defensive part, fine, even though he set a record for catcher's interference called against him in Pittsburgh franchise history. And he didn't even complete the season with the Pirates. So there's that. But, there are some values with the stuff that you can't see, and I get that. But for him to respond, I don't understand why would Pittsburgh fans boo. It's because you can't hit in critical situations. That's the reason. And for the Pirates, if they're disappointed in his performance or saying, he's trying to hit, well, his career trajectory has been consistent at that batting average under 200. So why the Pirates were surprised or mentioning that he was disappointed in the way that he played offensively, there wasn't a mystery. He's not a draft pick. He's not a prospect that you caught up in your organization. He's a veteran, and it's been there. The numbers have been there. So a lot of interesting talks. And I was interested to click on it because Hedges didn't speak out too much throughout his time with the Pirates, but now that he's gone, he's really got it all out there. The sob story, the touchy-feely stuff that he's trying to evoke from us, I'm not buying it. Because at the end of the day, you don't want Austin Hedges hitting when the game's on the line. You don't want Austin Hedges hitting when there's runners in scoring position. You don't want Austin Hedges hitting when he's performing like that. That's the opinion.
Nick, I want to thank you for being an honest co-host and watching the show, because Drew and I had problems early in the season after April when you kept saying we need Austin Hedges
Where
in
were
there.
they after April? They were 20-9. They were doing fine. I'm like, okay, he's contributing somewhat.
You
And
made
then
my,
everybody else.
You made my point valid.
Yeah, and everybody else stopped hitting, and then you really noticed, like, well, he's still not hitting either. So this is a problem. You got two prospects in the minor leagues. They're not even playing one of them at catcher either. Henry Davis is still in the outfield. That's a mystery. But you got two guys in the minor leagues that could probably hit better, and you bring Hedges in more strategically. But to have him as the starter after so long, when the entire team was struggling, when you lost O'Neal Cruz to injury in that month of April, that was when I kind of turned. And I'm
No,
like, okay.
I appreciate and respect that at 24 years old, that you know more of how I feel about the Pirates and some of their decisions. You're starting to come over to the Levine team on the Pirates.
You can't be surprised by.
Yes, you can.
No, hold on. The Pirates, when they're talking about how, like, that to me didn't make sense, because they're like, oh, well, obviously he's disappointed he's not hitting. Well, we knew he wasn't a good hitter. So
The
what
eye
are you
test.
doing?
How
Yes.
about the eye test? And then what was the manager Shelton saying that, you know, we know he wants to hit better. Well, a lot of people want things like.
I'd
hey,
love to hit the majors. That doesn't mean I do that.
I
well
would
at
have
this
loved to
point.
pitch in the majors, but guess what? That wasn't a possibility.
There you go.
So we got to move on to the next thing and welcome aboard and seeing that and being honest about
Oh,
it.
he's on the division-leading Rangers now, too, in the AL West. So that's also
Well,
interesting.
here, can I bring up a guy named Juju Schuster-Smith fumbling on key plays? And then where'd he go? Oh, he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So did Antonio Brown.
Oh, don't
Yeah,
even mention Antonio Brown getting a Super Bowl. We had the three.
Le'Veon Bell.
We had the three Bs, and look what happened. Three of the best players and a quarterback, you know, including the quarterback for years.
Sorry,
and
Le'Veon Bell wasn't.
how many Super Bowls did we get?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're seeing this.
Thank you, Tomlin.
Yeah, but he kept them together with rap songs and everything else, and he was a psychologist for Antonio Brown, and he didn't have a license. So those things happen. All right, we got to go to Mike Rohde. We're running out of time, so he got a couple minutes of freewheeling time right now. We'll just go right to it.
Cool.
Just go right with us, Corey.
I'll go quick then.
You got 2 minutes.
All right, real quick. I'm going to get existential for you on a minute.
I like
for a minute.
biblical, existential.
Existential.
Look at smoking.
So, all right. So, I've seen a team get drugged down by a player, right? By
Yeah.
a cancer player. I've seen a team get drugged down by a coach. You know,
Well, you've watched
kind of the
sports your whole
stench,
life.
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
I've never seen an entire organization just get drugged down like the Penguins did because of a general manager. Wow. That's the only time I ever saw an entire franchise just it was just an aura about them,
Let me
right? That
interrupt
was
you
just
one thing.
nasty and negative.
Where did he come from?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's
Philadelphia.
Why. I'm
He
getting
was a plant.
existential with you. That's why I agree with existential. You got to look that up in the book. But he came from the Flyers.
But look what's happened since this new GM came in. I mean, I'm not going to
Where'd
go on
he
and on
come
about
from?
that miracle trade because I still don't understand how he pulled off what he pulled off, getting rid of the dead weight and bringing in one of the best defensemen in the league. But my biggest hope for the Penguins is now the fact that they've got. I hope they're whatever you want to call it, got their groove back, right? Got this aura back around them
Well,
of
he
a
gave
winning
us
team,
optimism
and not
when
this
we
total
didn't have-
negativity.
yes.
Yeah, it was just a negative.
We're all optimistic.
And in so long, I hadn't seen that around the Penguins. Just that, like I said, that existential thing. Can't really define it, but
My answer is the Flyers.
yeah, there you go.
He came
There
right
you go.
from it.
Yeah.
He didn't add anything to it. He was supposed to enhance the core. How's Dubas come in and do that?
It's amazing.
With a miracle trade, and you did it under 2 minutes. You got existential on me, first time ever on Pittsburgh Sports Line. And I handled it. We handled it well, and I gave him the answer. All right, we're going On location, Corey. Thanks to Sam Joya, a lifelong friend from Green Tree and KO, watching the show. Yeah,
Oh, we got 2 minutes.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to give you the 2 minutes, and I had 2 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no worries.
Yeah. No, I was thinking. You know I watch that clock. Okay. On location. Wait, we got to bring somebody special in. Michael, can you come up over here? Take your headset off. Marco, come out of the control room.
The legend.
Come out of the control room.
Here, buddy.
You guys stand right between us. You might have to crouch down a little, Marco. You're taller than I thought. Let's see if he can get him in there. Look at the camera, not the TV. Take your hat off.
No, that hat look good.
No. He got a grandmother wants to see that handsome young man.
Okay.
And then Michael's right there. All right, we got the Rhodey and Mariano team here. We got Johnny on camera. I can't take all the pressure. Just stay there, guys. We're going to close it out with this. But on location, we got boxing down in Monsville. We may do something in Millville, so stay tuned for that. You know, anybody that wants us to come out, a location or something, a gym or a training facility or a retirement home, we'll come out and do a show. We can talk sports anywhere. So usually it's Smoke and Jim and I when we travel on location. Rest of you guys stay home and watch. Sorry. We have a history. Go to our Pittsburgh Sportsline channel on YouTube. Check that out. Don't forget the telethon Saturday. I'll put it up again. BPTV Studio, 5100 West Library Avenue, Municipal Building. Come in the exit right at the front of the building here where the library is above, police station to the right. We're going to have wings, pizza, you name it. We'll have people coming in, talking, donating money. Follow Smoke and Jim's lead, $11 to Alzheimer Association. Notice he gave it to me in cash. I got to put it in my account and then donate. So he can't make it simple. But come on out Saturday. Good weather's expected. We'll hang out outside. You can come in the studio. I'll interview and thank everybody that comes to donate $1. See you then. Stay Joey strong.
Great.